life, we will all encounter a multitude of troubles and hardships. Lucky for us, God has given us something that can overcome these challenges. One tiny little thing that can make all the difference. That tiny thing is hope. And no matter how big the obstacle, hope is always there to come to our aid, just as it did for Pandora and Epimetheus in my selection entitled Pandora by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Long, long ago, when this old world was very young, there lived a boy named Epimetheus. He had neither father nor mother, and so that he might not be lonely, a little girl who, like himself, had no father or mother, was sent from a far country to live with him and be his playmate. Her name was Pandora. The first thing that Pandora saw when she entered the cottage where Epimetheus lived was a great box. And almost the first question which she asked was, "Epimetheus, what's in that box?" "That's a secret," answered Epimetheus, "and you must be kind enough not to ask any questions about it. The box was left here to be kept safely. Even I do not know what's in it." "But who gave it to you?" asked Pandora, "and where did it come from?" "That is a secret too," answered Epimetheus. "Ridiculous," exclaimed Pandora, pouting her lip. "Just don't think about it anymore," snapped Epimetheus. "Let's go outside and play." They ran out to play, and for a while Pandora forgot all about the box. But when she came back to the cottage, she couldn't help thinking about it again. Where did that box come from? She kept saying to herself and to Epimetheus, and what in the world could be inside? "It was left at the door," replied Epimetheus, "just before you came, by a person who was dressed in an odd kind of cloak. He had a cap that seemed to be made partly of feathers, so that it looked as if it had wings." "Oh, I know him," said Pandora. "It was Quicksilver, and he brought me here, as well as the box. No doubt he intended it for me." "Perhaps so," answered Epimetheus, turning away. "But until Quicksilver comes back and tells us we may, neither of us has any right to lift the lid of that box." And he went out of the cottage. Then Pandora stood gazing at the box. It did not have a lock and key, as most boxes have, but it was tied with a gold cord. Pandora said to herself, "Perhaps if I untied the cord, I could tie it up again. There would be no harm in that. I need not open the box, even if the knot is untied." Just then, by accident, she gave the knot a little twist, and the gold cord untwined itself, as if by magic. And there was the box, without any fastening. "Oh dear," said Pandora, "what will Epimetheus say when he finds the knot untied? He will know that I have done it. How shall I make him believe that I have not looked into the box?" And then the thought came into her head that since he would think she had looked into the box anyway, she might as well just have a little peep. And then Pandora thought she could hear tiny voices inside the box that whispered, "Let us out, dear Pandora. We will be such nice pretty playmates for you." "What can it be?" thought Pandora. "Is there something alive in the box? I'm going to take just one peep and then shut the lid as safely as ever." Meanwhile, Epimetheus, who had been playing with other children, decided to return to Pandora. Epimetheus reached the cottage door, but entered softly. But just as he came in the door, Pandora had put her hand on the lid and was on the point of opening the box. If he had cried out, Pandora would probably let the lid drop. But Epimetheus, although he had said very little about it, was just as curious as Pandora to find out what was in that box. Pandora lifted the lid and looked inside. It seemed as a sudden swarm of winged creatures flew out of the box and brushed past her. Then she heard Epimetheus cry out as if in pain. "Oh, I am stunned!" he exclaimed. Pandora let the lid fall and started over to see what had happened to Epimetheus. She heard a loud buzzing, as if a great many huge flies were flying about. Soon, she was able to make out a crowd of ugly little wings-like shapes with terribly long stings in their tails. It was one of these that had stunned Epimetheus, and before long, Pandora began to scream with pain. An ugly little monster had settled on her forehead and would have stunned her badly if Epimetheus had not run and brushed it away. Little did the children know, but these ugly things were the whole family of earthly troubles. They were evil tempters. There were diseases in many painful shapes. All the sorrows and worries that hurt people today had been shut up in the mysterious box and given to Epimetheus and Pandora to keep safely, so that the happy children in the world might not be troubled by them. Had they taken care of the box as they should have, no grown-up would ever have been sad, nor any child have had cause to shed a single tear from that hour until this moment. Now the winged troubles flew out of the window and went all over the world. They made people so unhappy that no one smiled for many days afterward. Meanwhile, Pandora and Epimetheus remained in the cottage. Epimetheus sat down in a corner with his back to Pandora. She rested her head on the box and cried bitterly. Suddenly, there was a gentle tap on the inside of the lid. "What can that be?" said Pandora, raising her head. It sounded like the tiny knuckles of a fairy's hand, knocking lightly on the inside of the lid. "Who are you?" asked Pandora. A soft voice spoke from within. "Only lift the lid and you shall see." The voice sounded so kind and cheerful that Pandora and Epimetheus together lifted the lid. Out flew a bright, smiling, fairy-like creature. She flew to Epimetheus and lightly touched the spot where the trouble had stung him, and the pain was gone. Then she kissed Pandora on her forehead, and her hurt too was cured. "Who are you, beautiful creature?" asked Pandora, with a gazing at the lovely fairy. "I am to be called Hope," answered the sunshiny figure. "I was packed into the box that I might comfort people when the families of troubles got loose in the world." "And you will stay with us?" asked Epimetheus, "forever and ever?" "As long as you live," said Hope. "I promise never to leave. Sometimes you will not be able to see me, and you'll think that I have gone away forever. But perhaps when you least dream of it, you shall see the glimmer of my wings on the ceiling of your cottage." And ever since then, troubles have been flying about the world and making people suffer. But always Hope, the fairy with the rainbow wings, has come to bring healing and comfort.